Two bombs detonated at a Syrian military headquarters in Damascus on the morning of September 26th. This attack comes just one day after a non-lethal twin bombing staged by rebel fighters at a school in the suburb of Damascus. Although the recent Damascus bombings were not as lethal and operationally successful as some of the larger attacks on security infrastructure in Damascus, the rebels were able to expose regime vulnerability. At the same time, these bombings in the capital help ensure that the regime maintain adequate military units and resources in Damascus, which in turn create more openings for the rebels throughout the country. Two explosive devices packed in vehicles were detonated by suicide bombers within 10 minutes of each other, beginning at 7 a.m. local time, according to Syrian state TV. From the video footage, it appears that the first explosion could have been used to facilitate the entry of the second explosive-packed vehicle closer to the perimeter of the military headquarters. Much of the damage of the headquarters' internal security structure appears to have resulted from the fire after the explosions rather than the explosive devices. The Free Syrian Army claimed the twin bombing and stated that dozens were killed as a result. However, a Syrian military source indicated that only 4 security guards were killed and 14 wounded. Rebel and jihadist elements have launched similar attacks on hardened regime security infrastructure in the past, some killing upwards of 50 people and wounding hundreds. However, today's attack has not proven to be one of the largest or most lethal. This could be because the bombs were detonated too early in the morning before adequate targets were in the vicinity. Or it could have been that the perpetrators were attempting to target a specific individual or group of targets that were to have been at the military headquarters at 7 a.m. It is also possible that the explosives were not able to be detonated close enough to the targeted headquarters to inflict large-scale structural damage. Although the attack wasn't the most operationally successful, the rebels were still able to demonstrate that they are capable of carrying out attacks against hardened regime infrastructure in the heart of Damascus. Since the deadly rebel attack on the National Security Headquarters July 18th, the regime has taken measures to lock down central Damascus and keep the rebels largely confined to suburbs on the outskirts of the city. This initiative has come at a cost, however. The regime has had to expend a great deal of manpower and resources in keeping rebel elements from harboring in the city center. As a result, some of the regime's most well-equipped and loyal units have been kept from aiding in the battles persisting throughout Syria, especially in Aleppo. The rebels have taken advantage of the regime's constraints by launching occasional attacks against the regime in Damascus to ensure that an adequate number of troops remain in the capital. This tactic allows the rebels a less robust enemy force and has proven helpful in the Aleppo battle, where the regime forces have not yet been able to completely overwhelm the rebels. The rebels can be expected to continue to attempt to draw some of the regime's attention and resources inwards towards Damascus. This will allow for the opposition elements to face a more tempered resistance for their battles with the regime forces throughout the country, especially as the rebels continue attempting to dominate large swaths of land in the north and east, all the while putting pressure on the regime's supply lines.